You know, these segments are called Let Me Introduce You To. Let me introduce you to The Secret of NIMH. Does that sound familiar? Let me introduce you to An American Tale. Let me introduce you to so many things in the career of Don Bluth, animator and director and local Phoenix resident. Don, I'm delighted that you've given me the opportunity to introduce you to an audience that you've had for how many years? How
A good
many
50,
years have you been doing this?
about 50, maybe 55 years.
And he's still doing it, well, in a little different way. But let me ask you, Don, with all of that experience in the world of animation, I have wondered since I've known you were a resident here, if you remember the first animated picture you ever saw in a theater as a child.
Absolutely. Pat, let's see. That would be, I would be maybe 4 years old. And I went to see a movie called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Oh, oh,
And and the scene that got me, the scene that really lit the fire inside of me was the one where this old queen goes down and turns herself into a hag. And I just went, wow, that is so, I guess, attractive and at the same time scary. And I thought, what is that? And who made that? And all those questions came up in my mind. So in the years that followed, I got closer and closer and closer to the actual man who made that movie. And it was a driving force in my life.
well, you worked in the Disney organization for a long time and then later branched out with your own productions. But since you've had all of that experience over the years and through eras, talk briefly, if you will, about the changes in the industry itself technically.
Well, technically, of course, at first it was, let me go back really a long time ago to Mybridge, who actually on a dare, someone said, does a horse's hooves when he's running leave the ground all the time? At one point, is he not touching the ground at all? And he lined up some cameras, about 12 of them, and let a horse go running by, tripping the wires on each of the camera and taking a still photo. And that's how everyone went, wow, we can make movement. And really, there's no such thing as a moving picture. It's a series of stills that are shown rapidly in front of your eye, and it appears to be moving. But nowadays, I mean, and then there was Gertie the dinosaur, where someone drew every frame on the film. And then along came Walt Disney and several other. There were 14 major studios that were doing animation during Walt's era. And finally, it all came down to one, and that was Walt. And it seemed to me that he was saying, we can make people laugh. That's easy. We did that with the Silly Symphonies. But can we make an audience cry? And he set about to dare. And when I was at the studio, meaning Disney studio, the old timers talk about, he got them all together, all of his staff together. They were in a sound stage, and he told them the story of Snow White. And he said, we're going to make a feature film that's hand drawn. And in that feature film, we're going to make the audience cry. That was his challenge. And then everybody in Hollywood, because it was a new idea, everybody in Hollywood said, that's Walt's folly. It's never going to work. And it's going to cost $1 million. He's going to go broke, and that's not going to work. But you know what? When they opened at the Carthay Circle Theater, everyone in Hollywood turned out dressed to the nines. And after each musical number that happened, it said that these people stood on their feet and applauded because they realized that a new industry had been born.
Wow. And now, Don Bluth, you're working with live people, live on stage at the Don Bluth Theater. Invite everybody to watch a comedy that's called Killing Socrates. Talk about that.
Isn't that amazing? Killing Socrates. It doesn't sound like a comedy, but I've seen it several times now, and it is very, very funny. But more than that, it is extremely provocative. I mean, we deal with some issues in the dialogue of that play that you say, wait a minute, let me hear that again. And you take that home with you thinking about it. It's absolutely a gorgeous play. And I would be remiss if I didn't say the director, Cheryl Shar, has given the play sort of like an inner meaning, if you will. It's sort of like the subtext that's going on through the whole play. It's absolutely beautiful. If you miss it, well, come back in again, because we'll have beautiful plays all the time at this theater.
Well,
Theater.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, Don Bluth, to tell everybody where they can find the Don Bluth Theater, the Front Row Theater.
Well, the Front Row Theater is located on Via Linda, and it's right directly beside a car wash, and you'll know right where it is. So go to Via Linda, and you'll see a little shopping center there, and big letters on the front of our building that says theater. It's spelled correctly, too.
Right next to the car wash. Once again, the glamour of show business. And listen, Donna's got to go, and so do I. But we'll go off with a little music. Hi ho, it's off to work we go. Thank you, Don, for joining.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you a lot.